Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready to dive in? Today we're exploring those little free libraries we see popping up everywhere.
They're more than just cute, though, right? What's fascinating is they tap into our love of discovery. It's that thrill of, what will I find?
It's true, there's something so charming about them. Those colorful boxes overflowing with books. It's such a simple idea at its core. Anyone can take a book, leave a book.
And that simple idea has turned into a global movement. The nonprofit behind it, also called Little Free Library, is inspiring readers in over 115 countries. Can you believe that?
115 countries. So how did this whole thing start? Did they always dream this big?
Well, the first one was built back in 2009. It was a tribute by Todd Bowl to his mother, a teacher who loved books, a love letter to literacy, you could say.
Oh, that's really sweet. It makes you wonder, what is it about this idea that captures people's imaginations? Why did they join in?
I think it's that simple act of giving back. Plus, Bowl had this goal. He wanted to surpass Andrew Carnegie's library count.
Carnegie, the philanthropist.
Exactly. The one who funded all those libraries across the U.S. And guess what? They actually did it.
Wow, that's amazing. It really shows how a small gesture can turn into something huge. But okay, let's get real for a sec. They're cute, but what real impact do they have?
Oh, it goes way beyond just sharing books. It's about literacy, community, even a sense of empowerment. Did you know 2 out of 3 kids living in poverty don't have books at home?
No, I didn't. That's heartbreaking. It really puts it into perspective. They're not just cute, they're giving kids something they might not have otherwise.
Exactly. And it's not about forcing kids to read. It's about making it fun. No due dates, no late fees.
Just pure enjoyment. You stumble upon a little free library, maybe while you're on a walk. Something catches your eye, you stop, you browse. You might even end up chatting with a neighbor doing the same thing.
Right. It becomes this little hub of activity, which is so valuable these days. But it goes even deeper than that, I think. There's an element of empowerment, too, wouldn't you say?
Totally. Like we talk about people controlling their own narratives.
Yeah.
And this is kind of like that, right?
Exactly. People build these, decorate them, choose the books. It creates this sense of ownership.
It's about belonging and shared purpose,
Hmm?
which is so powerful both for the individual and the community.
Speaking of powerful stories, we came across some amazing examples of people going above and beyond for these libraries.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me everything.
Well, we found this YouTuber, right? And they document these little free library hauls they do.
Halls, like they go on these adventures to find them.
Yeah, they explore new areas searching for these hidden literary gems.
Wow, what kind of stuff do they find?
Oh, all sorts. They showed off a few like Magic, Thunder Heights, even Hotel on the Corner of Bitter and Sweet.
That's so cool. Even in the digital age, nothing beats a good book.
Yeah,
But it's not always easy for these libraries, is it?
right. Remember how we talked about zoning laws and bureaucracy?
Yeah.
Well, this one story really highlights that. A 9-year-old boy, his little free library was shut down in Kansas. City ordinance.
Oh no, that's awful. What happened?
Classic case of good intentions, bad rules. But thankfully, it has a happy ending.
Okay, good, because that was getting sad.
The community rallied behind him, started a Facebook page, pressured the city council,
No way.
and they changed the ordinance.
That's amazing. People power for the win. It's not all about overcoming challenges, though. There's also the everyday heroes.
Yes, the stewards.
The ones who keep these libraries running.
Stocking shelves, making repairs. Their dedication is incredible.
Well, that reminds me. The YouTuber we mentioned earlier, they talked about this steward who filled a library with kids' books. It was lower to the ground, easier for them to reach.
See, it's those small acts of kindness, that thoughtfulness, it really makes this special. It goes beyond just books. It's about generosity and inclusivity.
It's about those ripple effects, right? One small action leading to another, making the world a little brighter, a little more connected. It's like they say, takes a village, right? Or a neighborhood that really loves to read. We've talked about the individual libraries, but the organization itself is doing some pretty cool stuff on a bigger scale, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just organic growth anymore. They have programs now amplifying their impact even more. Like, have you heard of their Impact Library program?
I think so. That's the one that brings books to underserved areas.
That's the one. They're super targeted in their approach. They actually partner with other organizations already working in those communities. One example they mentioned was the Northside Achievement Zone in Minneapolis.
Oh, right. They're doing amazing work trying to break the cycle of poverty.
Exactly. And they see these little free libraries as a key part of that. It's not just about the kids either. It's about building home libraries for the whole family.
It's incredible how something so simple can have such a big impact. It's not just about giving out books, though, is it? It's got to be about the right books, books that represent the community.
You're totally right. And that's where their Read in Color program comes in. It's all about championing diversity in books, making sure everyone feels seen in the stories they read.
Because representation matters, right? Especially for kids. Seeing yourself reflected in a book,
Mm.
that's huge. It says, your story is important. You matter.
Exactly. It opens up your worldview, helps you understand others, and just makes you feel like you belong. And they're doing even more with their Indigenous Library program.
Oh, yeah. That's the one I wanted to hear more about. How are they supporting Indigenous communities specifically?
It's all about making sure Indigenous voices and stories are front and center, getting those culturally relevant books to tribal lands and communities. It's about recognizing that literature shouldn't be one size fits all.
It's about reclaiming narratives, right? Celebrating those Indigenous authors. And ultimately, it's about encouraging a love of reading that's rooted in their own identity. It's really amazing work they're doing.
It really shows how much they care. It's not just about checking a box, it's about really understanding the nuances of literacy and access.
And it all started with that one little free library as a tribute to a mom who loved books, who knew it would turn into all of this.
Right. It shows you the power of a simple idea, a little generosity, and believing in your community. And it's inspiring other people, too. Like, remember those little free pantries and blessing boxes we've seen?
Oh, yeah. It's like little free libraries, but for other things people need.
Exactly. People saw how well it worked and thought, why stop there? Instead of just walking by a problem, they're taking action, offering help in a way that's practical, but also just human.
It's about understanding that we all have something to offer. A book, some food, even just a smile or a conversation. That's what builds community, right?
Absolutely. And it all comes back to that idea. We're all connected. These little boxes, they're like symbols of that connection. They remind us that even small gestures can make a difference.
It's not just about the stuff inside. It's about recognizing our shared humanity, making sure everyone feels seen, heard, and supported. It really makes you think if we're all just hardwired to help each other out. You know what I mean? Like it's just part of being human.
Yeah, totally. And it comes back to that idea that everybody deserves a chance, whether it's a chance to see themselves in a book or get back on their feet. Like everyone deserves that opportunity.
It's kind of like that saying, what goes around comes around, except it's more like kindness inspires kindness.
Exactly. And sometimes that kindness, well, it leads to some pretty big changes. Like think about those seed libraries popping up, people sharing seeds, encouraging gardening. It's all connected.
It's like little free libraries are this blueprint for making things better. A way for people to come together and say, hey, we can solve this ourselves.
Right. It's like they're saying you don't have to wait for someone else to fix it. You have the power to make a difference right now.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into little free libraries, I gotta say, I'm feeling optimistic. We've seen how something so simple can make a real difference, not just for individuals, but for whole communities.
It's pretty amazing when you think about it. A box of books sparking this whole movement, bringing people together, inspiring generosity. Who knew?
It really makes you wonder, what could you do to make a difference? Big or small? What are you passionate about?
Maybe you'll be inspired to find a little free library near you. Donate a book, build your own. Or maybe it's something completely different.
Whatever it is, we hope this deep dive has left you feeling inspired and ready to make your own mark on the world. Happy reading, everyone.